Morning, everybody. Just finishing up my coffee here. Thought I'd take some time to show you what I live with. I'd unpack the pack a little bit, give you a little tutorial of what it takes to be 100% opted out. The opt-out I chose was vol-biv. Vol-biv is French for hike and fly. So not only do I carry a full paraglider, but I also carry all the other equipment that I need to eat, sleep, hike, and fly. Well, since it's here, I thought I'd start out with just what I used to cook. Vargo Titanium is amazing. They make it's called a hexa stove, which is a small folding wood stove. But because that gets messy with soot and wood and everything, I use a alcohol burner instead, which is clean burning, cheap to get. Half a liter lasts you seemingly forever, and I think it's like $2-3 to fill it with a product on the shelf called Heat, H-E-E-T, in a small yellow bottle. Threw that away at the store when I filled this up, so I can't show you that, but I encourage you to look it up. Pot I use is made by Sea to Summit. It's the, what do you call that? The collapsible kettle. It's really handy. Plastic lid, you can see into what you're cooking. The pour spout, you also get a little view in for a little more detail. But the whole thing collapses and is very rugged. This is my second one in, 6 years? The first one would have been just fine, but I decided that they just get dirty after a while, and instead of going to much effort to try to keep it clean, it's just easier to buy a new one. You don't want to be frivolously buying them, but it's nice to keep your gear in good order. And when it begins to fall into shambles from lots of use, it's good to just replace it. Here we've got, the bedroll. I use what's called a Thermarest. This is their new mattress. It's 2 inches thick, only takes about 10 full breaths of air to fill it up. Their new valve is a one-way valve where even if you forget to close it, will still hold air just fine. It twists open and close like the old narrow ones and locks open, and has a dump valve where you just twist the top. My sleeping bag is made by a company called Untitled Equipment. It is a half bag, which is a down quilt with a zippable foot box. It has drawstrings to draw the end together and clips to hold the bag underneath the sleeping pad. So really the sleeping pad becomes the bottom half of your sleeping bag. This thing is filled with 950 fill. You have options all the way down from 850, 750, and 950 fill. And at varying costs. I mean, this thing is super light. I think it weighs not a pound. Is easy to care for, and it's gotten me through some seriously cold nights. In addition, another product from Untitled Equipment that I use is their synthetic insulation jacket. Uses 30D nylon, very neat, very lightweight, and warm. My coat, I prefer the Black Diamond rain shell over the North Face rain jacket. They're actually made by the same company. This one's about the same price, but it comes with watertight zippers, and it's actually a little higher construction value, a little higher quality. These I use for water. They're 3-liter dromedaries. They're just great. The materials are super rugged. I've never been able to punch a hole in one. Not that I do it on purpose, but it's been through some interesting scenarios when you accidentally drop it on the ground. That happens. So to go to the rest of the pack here, we got towel. This is the I can't even remember who makes this, but it's basically a microfiber towel. They're easy to clean, They have a antibacterial coating so they don't get skunky. Everything I like to put into these mesh cloth bags, they are great. You can see through them, you know what you're going after, and they weigh practically nothing. So I carry 3 bags, or 4 bags. This comprises my entire camp set of equipment. These 2 are food. These 2 are personal equipment. I think I will start with the personal equipment. Toiletry bag. What I carry here is very basic, very minimal. Not a lot of stuff, but I find it all to be essential. I'll empty it out and give you the tour. Toilet paper, dude, you got mountain money. You cannot go without this. Keep it in a Ziploc bag, something like a freezer bag that will take some abuse. These little goo tubes are awesome. I like Tom's of Maine. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's a oil-based soap. Works wonderful. It's lightweight. Keep clean. A few extra lighters, just in case. Toothbrush and toothpaste. Now, I don't cut my things in half or use the little travel bags. I just use the regular stuff. I mean, what weight are you going to save if you cut this in half? You're just going to make your brushing of teeth a lot more weird. I like to keep a little earball syringe. This helps knock things out of my ear, or, you know, helps sip water or other things that I might need. A little electric shaver. This helps keeps me presentable. You know, it's nice to be Grizzly Adams, but it's also nice to be James Bond. To power it, I use small batteries, a little AA. These are rechargeable. This one in particular has a charge regulator built into it, so that you just plug in your micro USB, and it takes about a half hour for it to charge from empty. In addition, I like to carry, oh shoot, where'd it go? Darn it. There you are. In addition, I like to carry extra bite valves for my water bags, because these do wear out, they fall off, they get hung up on something and knocked off into deep grass and you'll never find it. So instead of having your water bottle leak forevermore out of the drink tube, I just carry an extra one. In addition, I like to carry a small valve, which can be open and closed and put at the end of tubes for cooking, so that you're not having to pinch and squeeze to get water out. I carry a small repair bag in which I keep my extras, identification, etc. This is I use for repair and repacking of my reserve and shoot. A few stickers, my USHPA membership, my UHGHPA, Utah Hang Gliding Paragliding Association map. I also like to keep some extra ripstop nylon tape for repair, passport, and, you know, I think everybody should carry one of these. Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. One of these days I'll make a video where I'm reading that. Moving on, while I reassemble this a little bit. Is my personals bag, where I keep all my little bit of equipment and electronics in, so that they're all in one spot. Again, small mesh sack, weighs nothing. I like to keep 2 pair of socks and 2 pair of underwear. Just swap them back and forth. If one's dirty, you wear the other pair, clean it up, swap it when they're dry. You want to change your delicates as often as possible, sometimes twice a day, so they don't get skunky. They have a chance to air out before nastiness occurs. And this way, you can keep going for quite some time. I also carry a set of long johns. Everything I use is nylon and smart wool. Anything up against my skin is smart wool, and everything else is nylon. Small adventure backpack so that I don't have to carry the entire bag if I need to go to a water source or, day tripping around the town. This is reversible. It opens up. There's many manufacturers of these. Sea to Summit is one of them. I like to use Advanced because, let's face it, paragliding rocks. Some of the electronics I carry are my 360 camera, in which I'm filming on, so I won't be able to show you that. But the camera comes with a rechargeable puck, which allows me to carry some extra batteries and not have to worry about charging them continually. I can go for a few days and have several hours of recording beyond just a single battery, so that I can not have to worry about that so much. Camera also comes with a nice little case to keep it clean, and lens covers. In addition, I carry a Garmin Mini. This is a satellite pager, which allows me to keep in contact with everyone, so I don't have to turn on my antenna on my phone, which, let's face it, once you're down to 1 bar or 2, just sucks down the energy. If you're closer with full bars, it actually works rather reasonably as far as efficiency of battery use. Moving along, as I stuff this away for now, we get into my cook set. Most of it is here. I've already explained the first two. I like to use a small GSI coffee filter. It's a fine mesh nylon. It comes with little plastic orange legs, which are meant to stand it on top of their cup, but it just punch some holes in the side, tie some string, and I'll say this works a lot better in this manner. I prefer these half-liter bottles. They're more than large enough for personal use. Much larger, and I just take up a lot of volume. This saves volume in the pack, and half a liter of coffee at a time, well, that's more than adequate. In my cook set, I like to carry also a small fishing kit in which I use several flies, a few sinkers, a few nymphs, but mostly small stuff that you see often around almost any universal water source. Mosquitoes, gnats, small things, bees, anything that's going to be universal. Because if I get specific on the flies I use, then I kind of trap myself to one spot. And when I go to another place and want to pull some food out, well, it might just not work. But I find bees, ants, grasshoppers, mosquitoes work really great just about universally. Oatmeal for every morning. I love these Better Oats. It's steel cut oats. They have several flavors. They come in these packets. I usually cook two or three in a morning, depending on how I feel. Gets your energy up, gives you some fiber and calories, because a lot of the food I eat is compact and needs a little extra bulk. A little trash bag that I keep everything sealed in. That's important because your old food you don't want to stink to attract other animals that, may want to give you a really bad day. Ziploc bags, fresh ones. I buy the 20-pack, even though I'm going to use a few of them. It's good to have extras in case one breaks or, you need to refill it. You don't want to reuse them very often because other nasties can build up bacteria and other things. Coffee. I prefer the Sumatran coffee. It's a darker, bolder flavor, which really makes my day every morning. In the small kit, I will keep some extras. This is my spork. This is Life's Good. What is it? Hungry. Oh, crap. Who makes this? This is Human Gear. There we go. It opens up and becomes a double-ended fork and spoon, or be a little more civilized and just use the spoon. When you're done, they nest back together. The spoon protects the tines of the fork from poking into your delicates in your pack. Vargo Titanium also makes the horn clip, which is a small titanium knife that I like to keep aside for food. I also like to keep this as my sharpest implement for any reason. It's a nice straight edge with a clip for eating or whatever you want to do. Stows nicely in their little clip. I also keep a few extra nail pegs for, barbecue. Really, these are just extra handy place to keep it so that they're out of the way. Another indispensable item is the sharpener. This is a carbide speed sharp. It has a small piece of carbide steel, which will basically scrape any metal off so you can keep things sharp. If you like, you can carve off, or you can shave off, or you can just do a quick feather edge and get that burr off once you've got things shaped the way that you like it. The rest of the food pack I carry a lot of nuts and noodles. So my shopping list usually consists of a chunk tuna, which I like to pair with a Alfredo of some sort, or a light cheese. I don't think it goes well with many of the others, but it makes a very dense, high-calorie, good protein source. Another few of my favorites are the Norposticides, Mexican rice, and the teriyaki noodles. Now, I've noticed the teriyaki noodles is one of your larger portion bags, which is good for when you're hungry. Stacy's chips, and these are great for backpacking. Hard crackers. I really like the garden vegetable medley. It's a little spice, a little flavor instead of just the plain old Jane. Beef jerky, obvious. Trail favorite for eons. Mixed nuts, I like the fruit medley, which gives you dried fruits and some nuts. This is great for munching. It's a real go-to on the trail so that you are constantly eating something, which is important because emaciation and loss of weight can really lead to ruining your day, especially when you're planning to do this full time. You just got to keep eating. You've always got to be munching on something. Keep your strength up. Keep your calories going. I like to split it into smaller bags so that it packs a little easier. And that's really kind of about it, aside from the aircraft material, the harness and the wing, and the helmet. It's very little that I carry. I like to keep it light. I like to keep it quick. My pack is 25, 27 pounds. Well, not even that. I'm going to have to... yeah, there we go. It is 17 pounds for the aircraft, another 7 pounds for the camping gear, and then food. I usually plan it about a pound a day, but always end up less than that. So about 3 pounds or so of food is what I'll carry day one. And water is always going to be your heaviest item. The easiest way to double your weight and pack is by adding water. These bags are great. They carry 3 liters each. They weigh about 9 pounds full. And they will keep you going. And so that'd be shy of 20 pounds. So by adding a full set of water, it will double my pack. So on a full load out, full day, day one, ready to head up, I'm looking at about 40 some odd pounds if I'm going to be gone for several days, and about significantly less if I'm just doing day tripping and have good support, which is, let's face it, very rare. So everything I do is foot support, no car, no home. This is my car, this is my home. Another thing to mention is a water filter. These are absolutely imperative. I like to use the Life Straw. This is disassemblable. Unlike all of the others, you can open it up, clean your parts. It has a carbon filter, which is replaceable, and is also on the clean side so that you can slurp the leftover water and try to keep it dry. This is a string filter, so that it's very efficient. It will filter below, I believe it is a micron, 0.01 microns, which is small enough to get all of your nasty bugs. Now, when it comes to viruses, the smaller viruses, that are less than 0.01 microns aren't very dangerous. There's not a lot of code in them, and they don't do a lot. So, those are going to be like your cold. They don't do a lot. They're annoying, but you'll be just fine. Other viruses like Giardia or other bacteria like, sorry, I can't remember. But most of the nasty nasties are quite large viruses, as they have a lot of genetic code and a large head, and will not make it past the filter. As I said, this is disassemblable, and you can keep the back end clean. I like to take this end off and back flush it every time I filter. I will be making a video, well, again at some point, on the specifics of how to use an inline filter. They're very self-explanatory. The most difficult thing you'll do is priming it. If you get air bubbles in there, it won't work. It's a siphon, so if it has a compressible medium inside of it, it won't go. So, well, there are the basics of my entire kit. That's all I live with. That's all I've lived with for, well, years. Not just as a paraglider, but well before that. My kit was squared away by the time I was, 20? I was able to go ultralight. My pack has been 10 pounds dry. I hope this helps you. I hope this gives you a little insight of what it's taken for me to survive. And not just survive, but thrive. Be able to feed myself. Be able to live a happy life in which I can survive and enjoy the world around me. It's nice to be able to get away from the craziness of the city and just be peaceful in the mountains. Yeah, it's a little maddening, the isolation, but it's at the same time very peaceful, very fulfilling. And I hope you all have a great day. I love you all.